nobody else. No, I ain't tryna be like nobody else. No, I ain't tryna be like nobody else. Cause I'm having too much fun tryna be myself. No, I'm not the type of chick that like to follow trends. I got a small circle, no, don't need a lot of friends. You know I gotta get this money cause I like to spend. I see you haters watching, so I just give you a grin.
Hey you guys, it's your girl I'm Down coming to you with another cake content video. I'm actually excited to do this video because I'm really passionate about what I'm getting ready to speak about, which is conditioning, and it's kind of actually the reason why I am not a conformist. I'm not making any excuses for myself because I am starting to conform. You have to. They always get you at some point. They break you down. But what conditioning actually is, there's actually two types of conditioning. There's operant and there's classical. So operant conditioning is a process of changing behavior by rewarding or punishing a subject each time an action is performed until the subject associates the action with pleasure or distress. Classical conditioning is a process in which a stimulus that was previously neutral, as the sound of a bell, comes to evoke a particular response as salivation by being repeatedly paired with another stimulus that normally evokes the response as the taste of food. Now that we done got all of that out of the way, those are the two types of conditioning. What I'm going to be really focusing on today is operant conditioning, okay? As always, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment if you like, do all of those things, please. Thank you. Now, I was talking to a homie of mine the other day, and we were basically talking about race. Race is very relevant. It's always going to be relevant as long as African Americans do not have equal rights as everyone else, and we still do not currently in 2021 have equal rights as everyone else. Now, he brought up to me about the Willie Lynch letter, and I had actually never read the Willie Lynch letter, so I decided to dabble. So I read the entire thing, and to be honest with you, that gave me the perfect, what Willie Lynch described to the other slave masters. What he told them to do in order for them to keep their slaves in line is exactly what conditioning is. It's called operant conditioning. That's what he used. Those were his methods. And he said that if they implemented it correctly and did it the right way, that it could span for not just hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. And I do believe that Willie Lynch was correct, because if you take the world that we live in right now and you take African Americans and how we're the most behind race, it doesn't matter about the few that are ahead, because if you take it as a whole versus the few, then we're still the minority, I believe, when it comes to financial status and things of that nature, and we're at the bottom completely when it comes to equal rights. So with that being said, blacks have a crabs in a barrel mentality. Now, this is not all blacks, this is most blacks. They have a crabs in a barrel mentality. They don't want to see their brethren or their sister get ahead in life. They're always trying to keep them down, or they might just know that you're potential and they don't want to see you get there, or they want to get there before you. So it can be a situation like that. Conditioning has traveled so far throughout the years, starting from slavery up until now, that it's to the point where you see blacks coming out saying, not to put anyone on blast, but Kamala Harris saying that, basically agreeing that there's not a race issue in America. All of these things are to keep conditioning you to believe not what you're seeing, but what you're being told. And if you're not going to play ball, you're going to be punished. So that's another form of conditioning. If you don't do this, this is what you're going to get. So if you don't want to get that, then you're going to go the other way. So that's how you're being conditioned. In the letter, Willie Lynch was talking about how he put light against dark, old against young, how he put man against woman, how he put fair hair, well, I hate that word fair because fair means better than, so how he put straighter hair against more curly hair. And that still happens now. There's always going to be a colorism issue within the same race. Lights against darks. Who they put up, who doesn't get put up, and why. That conditioning literally is still going on right now. So Willie Lynch was right. it couldn't last thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Because if you constantly, starting from the womb, show these messages and show these images on TV and show that this is better. I mean, I can give you 3 instances where they put up somebody, or a man chose someone lighter over someone darker. Even if, yeah, you got Notorious B.I.G., Lil' Kim used to be darker back in the day, and then he went with Faith Evans and married her. That's one situation. Then you look at the show Power, you got Notori Norton is in there as the wife, and she gets left by her husband for a Hispanic, Latina. And then you have a situation like most celebrities that are married usually, and rappers more so, have, you know, a fair-skinned wife. You look at Ludacris, you got Dave Chappelle, you got Fabulous, Kevin Hart, Offset. That's just to name a few. Now, I'm not saying that they don't really love these women or anything like that, but I'm just saying that conditioning is done so well and has been done so well that it's not even a realization that you are conditioned. People try to boil it down to a preference, but even preferences come from somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? So that conditioning that Willie Lynch was talking about in the letter, and how he was putting, you know, the race against each other, amongst each other, causing rifts and, you know, problems, that's still going on now. That's why a lot of people lighten their skin. That's why a lot of people straighten their hair. That's why a lot of people get surgery to look a certain way, change their nose, their features. Like, that's why it happens. It's because of the conditioning. It's something that's not realized. Holidays are even a form of conditioning. You have people out here running around Christmas time like chickens with their head cut off because they gotta buy a present for somebody on a man-made holiday. On a man-made holiday, you actually feel like you have to do something. And you're going to sit here and tell me that the conditioning hasn't worked? Oh, it definitely has worked. All of these holidays are man-made. But yet and still we feel like we have to celebrate them. Man, oh man, oh man. So with the Willie Lynch letter, that's all I got from it. Like, I read the entire thing, and it just let me know immediately. I was like, okay, so what he's describing for them to implement into the slaves is conditioning, and that's what we do still now. We're going through so much issues with black against black. Got black on black crime all the time. You got the black neighborhoods and a lot of, you know, what they call them rural areas that have, like, you know, the liquor stores that are close by, the quote-unquote convenience stores that are close by where things cost a lot more, but they call them convenient because they're close by and they're local, so they think they're doing you a favor. I say all that to say all of this stuff that is going on is a form of conditioning. It's all around us. It's everywhere you go. It's in everything. It's in what they put on TV. It's in what they promote. It's in who they promote on TV. Who they put ahead of someone else. Who they decide to recognize or give recognition to over someone else. You can't sit here and tell me that it's not still going on where they put up lighter or fair, quote-unquote, fairer skin woman over the darker skinned woman. That happens all the time. Even if the darker skinned woman is more talented. Reading the Willie Lynch letter made me feel sad. It made me feel sad that we have to be punished and we have to be treated like animals all because we were blessed with melanin. If you guys haven't read it, I think you guys, it's definitely something to check out. We're not even looked at as humans. They tell you that you have to do all of these things. And now we're conditioned into believing that we do have to do them. Slavery now is in the form of a paycheck that is minimum wage. Slavery now is in the form of living check to check. Slavery now is being in a pandemic for a year and then some, and they've given out less than $5,000. That's slavery. Not enough to support yourself. But yet and still they think that they're doing something for you. And you are conditioned into believing that they are. Conditioning is a funny thing because, like I said, you don't even realize that you're being conditioned and that it's happening. I'm going to hit on something really quick. I talked about it in another video where I was kind of defending the fact that they do come down a little bit hard on the LGBTQ community when it comes to religion and the Bible, and saying that they're going to hell, but they don't speak about all the other sinful acts that are also in accordance with going to hell. But when it comes to homosexuality in the LGBTQ community, it is very clear that that is something that is now being implemented and put into a lot of television shows, into a lot of movies, and even cartoons. They had the alternative character in the latest Toy Story. So I just want to say that conditioning happens all around us. So that's why you have to monitor the things that you let your children watch. Make sure you're watching it with them. Make sure you're definitely seeing the messages. I had definitely hit on a cartoon that I had watched where they were treating a black duck bad because it didn't look like the white ducks. So, yeah. Happening even in cartoons. So, yeah, it's definitely all around us. Like, we are definitely in a situation where you're looking like we have this American dream based off of what? Where did the American dream even come from? What they told us the American dream was. It just be too much to process sometimes, you know. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all those things. And yeah, see you in the next video.